Hello everybody! Today I'm going to show you how to do this look. It's like my everyday makeup look. It's kind of a lot for some people, but I like to have eyeshadow and eyeliner and my face done when I decide to do my makeup. But yeah, if you like this, just continue watching and I'll show you how I get it done. Alright, so I'm going to start by pulling my hair back. I like to start with this primer. It says it's a hydrating primer. I've never used any other primer, but I have really dry skin, so anything hydrating is good for me. I'm just gonna take like that much. Next, I'm going to use this NARS foundation. It's in the shade Light 3. It might actually be too light for me right now. We'll see. I'm very pale, but I did use self tanner, so I don't know. So I'm just taking like a few. I don't like to do a ton of foundation. That's actually a lot. Ooh. I don't like to do a ton of foundation. I just like to cover up spots that need it. I think it'll be fine. And then I'm going to take this sponge. It's by Real Techniques. It's like $6 or $3, I don't know. It's very cheap compared to the Beauty Blender, and it works really well, and it's very soft. But I like a really light foundation, and then if I have more spots to go, or like that, or over here, I'll use a concealer for that. Alright, that looks about good for me. Okay, and now next, I like to use the Tarte Shape Tape. I actually have two colors, one for my under eyes and one for like spots. So the one that I use for like my skin spots it's 22N Light Neutral. And then the one I use for under my eyes is 12N Fair Neutral. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, I look a little bit crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna blend that out with the same Beauty Blender, but I'm gonna use the pointy end this time. And sometimes if it's like a little too bright, like this seems very bright on me, I like to go back in with this end that I use my foundation on, just to kind of darken it up a bit. Okay, so that's my concealer and foundation done. Now I'm going to powder my face. I use the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I just kind of like a little bit of powder in the pan. That's a lot. And then I go ahead and dip my brush into it and then tap it off and then just powder my entire face. Okay, now that I look like a ghost with no definition in my skin, I'm gonna add blush. Okay, so I use the Cheek Leaders Pink Squad Blush, Bronze, and Highlight Palette. And then for my bronzer, I use Hoola. So I'll like tap it and then also tap it off and get like a lot off. And then I like barely, you can barely, I mean, it's still a lot, but I don't like to have a very intense bronze. Like, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, we'll see how that is. It's very dark. Alright, so that's the bronzer. Although this side seems a little bit dark, so I'm actually gonna kind of blend it out with the same makeup sponge. So that's a little bit better. I think it's just the lighting, but it still looks kind of weird to me. Okay. So the blush that I use is Dandelion in here. And I like to put it up a little bit higher on my cheeks, like more focused up here than in the center. That's just how I like it. It just seems to define my cheekbones more, in my opinion. So there's the blush. And now I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in with this Too Faced highlight. I don't know what it's called. It doesn't seem to have a name anywhere on it, so yeah, it's just this one. And then it looks like this on the inside. Looks good. And I'm gonna do the bridge of my nose. And then a little bit on my lips. Okay, so next I'm going to do my eyebrows. All right, so I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in Chocolate. I'm gonna go in first with this color right here, the darker one. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of it. I'm gonna just have like a angled brush that's pretty thin. So I start by just kind of tracing the arch and dragging it down, and then kind of fill it in. I don't make them super defined, I just kind of fill it in where it needs to and define it where it needs to. And then that's kind of it. See, looks like thicker. And then that's about that with that color. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, so that's about it. I mean, they're not exactly identical, but plus they're sisters, not twins. So yeah, that's about that for that color. And then at the front pieces, I like to use a little bit of that one and just kind of barely brush it in. I'm pretty much only doing it to fill in like bare spots, if that makes sense. Like right here is kind of a little bit bare, and I would just want to make it look a little bit more full. Okay, and those are my eyebrows. Now I'm gonna start with the eyes. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do a look from the James Charles palette. I'm gonna go for like a spring look and kind of play off the colors in my shirt. I'm just gonna get like a fluffy blending brush and start with this color here. This is what I usually do, is like a brownish pink color, and then just kind of go in the crease and blend it out. This is like a really fluffy blending brush, so it kind of smokes it out really well. And this is kind of like my everyday makeup look when I do makeup. I think I might wear a little bit more than most people do every day, but you do you. And yeah, so now that it's blended out, all right, I'm gonna go in with a bit of a darker color. I think I'm gonna do this one right here. I wish I knew the names, but I do not. And I'm gonna use kind of like a flatter crease brush. My brushes are really dirty, so please don't judge me, I'm sorry. So tap a bit of that off and kind of go in the crease again. And then I'm going back in with the blending brush just to kind of smooth those colors together. And now I'm gonna go in with, let's see, should I do a cut crease? I'm gonna do a cut crease. I do not do a cut crease every day, just so you know. I usually just kind of put sparkles in the middle, but I'm feeling a cut crease today. So I'm just gonna kind of put some, and just kind of put it on there. And then I'm gonna go in with a brush to clean up the edges. Alright, so there we go, my cut crease, all done. And I'm just gonna powder it a little bit with a brush, just to kind of set it for the eyeshadow that's gonna go on it. Alright, now I'm gonna go in with a sparkly color with my finger. I'm just gonna use my finger. So I'm gonna use this pink here. I use this pink a lot. The colors I'm using are colors I typically use, but I'm just doing a cut crease today because I want to be fancy. Actually, no, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this color up here, this gold color, just to kind of make it, just doesn't seem shiny enough for me today. I don't have very good lighting, so maybe I'll fix my lighting for the next video. I'm literally just recording on my iPhone, so the quality might not be the best. All right, then I'm gonna go back in with this brush again. It's the same one. I only use like 2 different brushes, and it's like a blending brush and then a crease brush are the only brushes I really use, and then maybe a slightly smaller brush for under my eye. I'm gonna go back in with this color and kind of blend in the crease. Okay, beautiful. All right, and now I'm gonna do the same colors underneath my eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and use this color and this color under my eye. I'm gonna bring this one in to about here, and then the darker one like halfway. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead, put that away, and take my highlighter again and use that on the corners of my eyes. Get the corners of my eyes. See how bright it makes them? All right, perfect. All right, now I'm gonna move on to eyeliner. I just use the NYX Epic Ink Liner, and it's black. It's just black. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. Sometimes it leaks though, so I gotta be careful. I like to do like a really, well, as thin as I can line across the top. See, it's like pretty thin. And I do that on both sides. Now that I got my like line across, it's kind of messy, but I'm gonna fix it. So I'm going to start on the wing. So I just kind of eyeball this. I use like the crease of my eye, like I follow this line of my eye like right here, and then I kind of go towards my eyebrow. And then I just start at like the top and drag it down. There's my eyeliner. It's not even on both sides, but it's fine. My eyebrows aren't even either, so. But you can't really tell, because whenever you look at people, they usually see one side of you more than the other, so they're not seeing you face on, so they're not gonna see how uneven your eyeliner is, or at least that's what I like to tell myself. I'm gonna do my mascara, so I'm gonna use the Better Than Sex mascara, which is, it's by Too Faced, and it's like my favorite mascara ever. I haven't found one that I like more, and I've tried not very many, but this is one of the like, probably like 5 different mascaras I've tried, but I really like how voluminizing this is. Volumizing? I don't know, I said voluminizing. Volumizing and lengthening this is. Alright, so the mascara is done, and now all that's left to do is give my mole some color. I'm gonna just take like a brown color and use my finger. There. There we go. And then this is an everyday makeup look. I don't usually use eyelashes. Well, for everyday looks I don't use eyelashes, and I don't like lipstick because it just kind of I feel like it comes off all the time. So I do use like a lip gloss. This is one by Chanel. It's called Star. It's the Glossomer. Okay, so this is the finished look, and yeah, I hope you liked it. Like I said, this is my second video, and I'm sorry if there's some issues with like audio or me staring this way instead of this way. I'll do better in the future. I'm just kind of getting used to it. All right, and thank you, and please subscribe and leave any comments for any suggestions that you'd like me to do in the future or improvements I can make on my video. All right, thank you.